Alright, we got zombies and dinosaurs for this month. What other monsters can we do? How about ghosts? Don't really have much that involves ghosts, and one's more action than horror. Why not one that has to solve our own death? Sounds like a good one for this month. Yeah. How about we review Murdered Soul Suspect? Murdered Soul Suspect was released on June 3rd, 2014, and was developed by Airtight Games and published by Square Enix. The concept of the game came from Yosuke Shiokawa while watching Die Hard, that action Christmas movie. He started thinking what would happen if McClane died during the movie. He kept thinking like that, kept getting more and more ideas, more questions, and that's how he ended up with pretty much the character trying to save everyone in the building, even after death. A few years later, and Murdered became the result of that one question. Murdered starts off with our protagonist, Ronan, being thrown out of a 3-story building onto the street. After about a minute of figuring out that he is still slightly alive and trying to get his body back in working order, he gets shot a few times. Unfortunately, he can't join his wife in the afterlife until he finds out who the killer is and somehow stops them. Soon after Ronan's death, we learn some rules that ghosts have to follow. One is being able to pass through objects in the real world. Unfortunately, we can't go through buildings and continue our ghostly investigation like that. We're in Salem, where every building has ancient wards that keep us from passing through them. So the only way in is through open doors and windows. Another is having to avoid the only enemies in our way, demons. We can't fight these enemies directly, and they will destroy us if we stay detected for too long. It's not mentioned, but you also can't pass through anything else that's in the ghost world. Anything that is shown in grayscale is part of that world, so where you see normal people pass through it, you need to go around them. After investigating the crime scene, you find out that you need to get to the church to find Joy, a girl who you not only find out that she is a medium, but her mother is also a medium and part of the Bell killer investigation who has gone missing. Ronan decides that he needs Joy's help to not only solve this mystery, but to also find out where her mother is. And this is where story time ends for this video. Normally, I'm not sure how to end these parts during reviews, but because this is a mystery game, better to keep spoilers here instead of going full steam ahead. Gameplay for the game is pretty simple, really. You can walk around and through solid objects and people, and you can also possess them to listen to their thoughts. There is also a first-person mode that I honestly only used on accident when I tried to jump. There is no manual jump in the game. You can only jump as a cat and only on certain platforms and objects. The combat in the game is nothing special. Or in this case, it's barely anything at all. You don't have a form of offensive combat in the game. It's more of a wait for the right opportunity to try and take out the demons. Once you're behind a demon, you're prompted to try to banish them. And once you do, you have to hit a certain combination soon after to complete the banish. Fail it and you're forced to have to hide before they kill you. It doesn't happen that often, but it makes me wonder why there are so many hiding spots in the town. Investigating a crime scene has you trying to not only puzzle out what is happening, but to also open up new clues in some areas. You also don't need all the clues to progress through the investigation. While looking things up, I did find out that there are words that pop up during the investigations are inspired from the TV show Sherlock. A couple of things in the game were inspired by movies. I'll actually have a link in the video where they do explain a couple of things that were inspired from movies. During your main investigation, you'll also find more ghosts that haven't passed on because there's something that's keeping them from doing that. There are more minor investigations, but they are interesting to go through. The only one that I couldn't complete was one that involved a car crash. And honestly, I don't know what happened, but I think in the end it just bugged out and I couldn't complete it. Actually, speaking of bugs, I actually ended up running into a couple of them. And more like a few actually. One that I ran into was on the beach. And I was just exploring and I found that I couldn't actually go up some stairs. But I can still walk on top of the platform that the stairs lead to. Through teleporting with the little hiding spots. The next one was actually a big one, and I almost didn't want to review the game after I ran into it. I'm not going to say anything, I'll just show it off.
Well, I'll be. What's gotten into you?
So yeah, the solution was actually me having to turn VSync on. I haven't run into another issue like that, so I think this should hopefully be only a PC issue. Or a PC only issue, I mean. Now, let's talk about collectibles, cause my god, this game has a ton. Some of the collectibles are about Ronan's life, some of them are about the town, and some of them are about the killer. The best collectible, and I'm honestly sad that I can't continue collecting them, are the collectibles about people who have died. If you want something that's scary, it's these. Getting all of them in an area gives you a story of someone's experience with the supernatural, and some of them are genuinely creepy. The reason I stated that I can't go back and collect these is because once you enter the final area, you can't leave, no matter what. The game auto-saves you inside the final area. So if I want to collect those things, I have to start the game over again. Now that's truly scary. The graphics for the game are alright. It's not bad for a 6-year-old game at the time of reviewing. I do enjoy how the modern aesthetics are being clashed with the remnants of the past. It's also a little disturbing seeing what seems to be ghosts in the distance disappear as soon as you try to get close enough. I did have fun with the game. I just wish the combat was a little more than what we ended up with. There were a couple of twists that I really didn't expect during the game, which is honestly why I didn't go that far into explaining or spoiling how the story ends. Overall, if you enjoy action and mystery games, you're not gonna get it here. This is honestly one of those play once and you're done. The inability to go back to Salem and explore it is one of the more aggravating things for someone who gets sucked into the game, and I feel like it's better to just pick this up when it's on sale. In fact, currently, during the time of this review, it is actually on sale for the PS4 for about $2. For anyone else, if you want a good mystery game for Halloween, I can recommend this one. Just have VSync on if you purchase it on PC.